In this tutorial, we're going to explore the basics of 3DByMe. To launch 3DByMe, navigate to the Furnish section of your HomeByMe project. Then navigate to the Community Content tab. Under Community Content, you will see a row called My Content with a card to launch 3DByMe. Once you have completed the login process and onboarding, you will land on a welcome screen where you can create a project by starting from scratch. Then you can give your project a name. Let's create Garage Workbench. At the start of every new project, the Shop panel is open so you can begin browsing building materials and add them to your project. To start building the Garage Workbench, I'll navigate to Lumber, and under Construction Lumber, I'll navigate to 2x4. And I'll add a 2x4 at 60 inches to determine the length of my workbench. Now that I've added my material, I can see on screen there's some controls to move it. By simply dragging, I can rotate in different directions. I can move the material up and down vertically, and I can also free drag the material. On the contextual toolbar, I can duplicate, cut, and delete the material. Now to determine the height of my workbench, I'm going to duplicate the 2x4, and then I'm going to enter the cut command, and on screen I have visual feedback of a saw blade that I can move in position to where I would like to cut. Roughly at 36 inches is where I'd like the height of my leg. So I'm going to confirm, and now I have a leg that's cut to 36 inches. I'm going to remove the offcut by selecting it and deleting it, and then I need to move my leg upright. To do that quickly, I can rotate 90 degrees by tapping on the rotate control. Then I need to align my leg with this 2x4 here, so I can snap them together. To do that, I'll select the leg, and then I'll drag it with free drag until I see a magenta highlight indicating that they're perfectly aligned. Then I'll move the leg to the other 2x4 and snap them together. And then to finish off the positioning, I'll select this 2x4 and move it vertically until it snaps to the top. Now I'll continue on building my workbench. Now that I have the basic structure of my workbench, I want to create a shelf on the bottom. To do that, I'll multi-select the top frame by tapping on the materials I would like to select, and then I can duplicate those materials and position them about 8 inches off the floor. And that creates a frame on the bottom for my shelf. Now the last thing I need to do is add a top for my workbench. To do that, I'm going to navigate back to the shop, and I'm going to navigate to sheet materials, and I'm going to choose a 1/2 inch sheet of plywood. Then I'm going to add it to my project. I'm going to position the plywood so it's aligned with the top of my table and move it into place. Then, to fit it to the top of my table, I'm going to return to the cut tool and then align the cut with the edge of the table. And that explores some of the basics of 3DByMe.